It has been almost 2 years to the day since the Surrey RCMP first issued a public warning over extortion attempts, primarily targeting South Asian business owners. This year alone, there have been more than 80 extortion-related cases reported in Surrey. We have seen similar incidents in Abbotsford and in Delta, often violent and some including shootings. So tomorrow night, CBC is hosting a community town hall to discuss the extortion crisis. It's called Extortion Communities in Fear, and we will hear from politicians and business owners and police. It is open to the public. It's free. All you have to do is come down to the Surrey Arts Centre. It all gets underway at 6:30 tomorrow evening. And if you'd like to save a spot, you can register online at cbc.ca/BC. Well, with us today is Macklin McCall, BC's critic for Solicitor General and Public Safety. He will be attending the town hall tomorrow, and he's on the line with us right now. A very good afternoon to you.
Yes, thank you for having me.
So what are you hearing from people about just how big of a problem this is right now?
Well, I mean, it's quite a big problem. My riding is in West Kelowna, and everyone's talking about it out here. This is something that's as big as it is, as you just said, in the Lower Mainland. It is causing fear, I think, with businesses and families and citizens and whatnot that are hearing what's happening. This is something that you don't really hear happening in British Columbia every day.
I see. And what's the response that you would like to see from the government right now?
Well, the federal and provincial governments, I think, must mobilize every available resource really to aggressively counter these foreign gangs that have infiltrated our borders to extort our communities. Foreign conflicts, they're not welcome in British Columbia, and foreign criminals who prey on our people, they must be immediately deported. I think that we should be taking aggressive and serious action in these times.
Okay. And from what you've seen so far, is it aggressive enough? Is it serious enough? I mean, do you have any criticism with the way the NDP has been handling this so far?
Well, I think that, as you said, the warnings were coming out back 2 years ago. It's obviously getting worse and worse. We're now having shootings. We're having a local man was publicly executed by a gunman in a busy street in Abbotsford. It's getting worse. Just a few days ago, once again, this group, shot up a residence and videotaped it and put it out for the world to see online. So I think that, there are some steps that have been taken, sure, but I think that it needs to be more aggressive. We need to make it very clear that this isn't okay in our province. And in fact, what we would do as conservatives, what we're really pushing for is to deport foreign criminals, mandatory sentencing for extortion bail reform, dedicated, coordinated prosecutors. So people that we have this task force of police, but also having designated and trained and experienced Crown prosecutors for extortion and perhaps terrorism charges as well. And intelligence and evidence gathering and international cooperation federally, nationally, but also international to really take the fight here nationally, really prioritize it, but also overseas as well to end the extortions for good.
Well, that's key here, isn't it? Because one thing that is unique about these cases, I mean, is not exactly a mystery, but the Lawrence Bishnoi gang has taken credit for many of these extortions. So they're primarily based in India. They're designated as a terrorist organization by the Canadian government. So what do you think? Should the fact that we know who is responsible make it easier for local officials to take action?
Well, I think that it certainly helps. I mean, the fact that there's a terrorist designation and what is happening, well, there are certain provisions in the criminal code that can be taken that allow, in a terrorist investigation, that allow investigators and governments to take further action, like freezing assets and so on, things like this that are actually in Canadian law that can be utilized. That's something that would go a long way as well. But yeah, I think that the police still need to do their job. They still need to investigate. But of course, the fact that they're taking ownership online, and really, that does make it a little easier for us to take action. And that's a big reason why this isn't just rudimentary kind of criminality we see in the background where you have to do a lengthy investigation to figure it out. I mean, before the police are fully on scene, they're already posting this stuff online. So I mean, I think because of that, it's very brazen as well. That's not very common, and I think that's why we should be taking further steps here more aggressively. I think to address it, because I don't want to see this get worse in our province.
Well, and you worked as an RCMP officer for close to 20 years. What do you see as the biggest obstacle that the authorities are facing right now, where we're talking the Surrey Police Service, RCMP as well, in trying to tackle this issue right now?
Well, I mean, it's widespread. I mean, you mentioned at the intro here to this segment that it's happening all over the Lower Mainland. There
Macklin McCall has just frozen on our screen here in the studio. We're going to attempt to reconnect, and hopefully we can continue this conversation. We have managed to reconnect with Macklin McCall, BC's critic for Solicitor General and Public Safety. I'm glad you're back with us now, and I just wanted to pick up on what you started to tell us about your experience through your lens as a former RCMP officer as well. Just in terms of law enforcement, the challenges in tackling this issue.
Yes, I think that it is throughout the Lower Mainland and Abbotsford, Delta, Surrey. That makes it obviously more difficult. It is a mobile group that's kind of moving around. Vehicles are involved, this type of thing. When you have an international component to it, as you said, this gang comes out of India. That does make it more difficult. Also, I think that from a law enforcement perspective, that just the fact that they're not just Canadians that live here, down the road and another residence. These are people that are coming in from another country. They're going through the system to enter the country through customs and this type of thing, committing the crime. Maybe they're leaving. Maybe they're still staying in the province or the country. I think there needs to be more coordination internationally, nationally, and here with police in British Columbia to really track that and tackle that.
Okay. But I mean, besides more coordination there, and we have been speaking with RCMP officials and law enforcement officials in Surrey as well. That is the intention. So tomorrow night at the town hall, we're going to get the conversation going, hear from so many special speakers. What solutions would you like to see prioritized to tackle this issue once and for all?
Well, I think, a coordinated approach between federal, provincial, and local authorities, I think would be very helpful where it's this serious issue is taken as given the seriousness and the urgency that it deserves to really tackle this. Because we can't take more time doing this. We need to get this dealt with like today. It's getting worse and worse, and it means more safety issues in our province and on our streets. I think that deporting our foreign criminals, that are doing this, making it clear that we don't stand for this in this province, and if you're here terrorizing our streets in British Columbia, that you're going to be deported. Mandatory sentencing for extortion, I think, is important as well. Really, make it clear that we're not accepting this, and there's serious consequences for this. Bail reforms, such as the reverse bonus bail for extortion. But I think coordinated and dedicated prosecutors. We have police that have been kind of coordinated for such investigations. But I think we also need to add federal and provincial crown prosecutors that are experts in perhaps terrorism investigations and extortion, which will go a long way to not just having a great police investigation, but also the prosecution is on board and understands the intricacies of such a thing. And I think the intelligence and evidence gathering, more resources to strengthen surveillance, case building, and early disruption of these activities. And of course, international cooperation, I think, would go a long way, which that would be, again, multi-levels, right? You've got local police, you've got provincial, and you've got federal government and enforcement organizations working to those means.
Macklin McCall, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Macklin McCall is BC's critic for Solicitor General and Public Safety. Again, tomorrow night, CBC will be hosting this community town hall to discuss the extortion crisis. It's extortion, communities in fear. Politicians are going to speak, business owners, police. It is open to the public. If you'd like to attend, just go to the Surrey Arts Centre. It all gets underway at 6:30 tomorrow. You can save a spot by registering online at cbc.ca/BC and tune in live tomorrow afternoon, wherever you find CBC. Again, gets underway on all of our platforms at 6:30.